On a freezing night in Pittsburgh, Jack Mercer, a 40-year-old former Navy SEAL, hears something that stops him cold. Not a siren, not a shout. A tiny whimper coming from a storm drain buried under snow. Beside Jack Mercer, a 5-year-old black and tan German shepherd goes perfectly still, ears up, eyes locked on the darkness below. Down there, a mother dog is trapped, shaking, still guarding a dying puppy with the last strength she has. Jack Mercer pries the grate open with bare willpower and a bad left knee, pulls the puppy into warmth, and drags the mother out just in time. But the real danger does not stay in the drain. Before the sun even rises, a man in a clean coat shows up at the door with a fake rescue badge and one cold word that changes everything: property. If you want to see what Jack Mercer does next, share this story, comment where you are watching from, and subscribe for more powerful rescue stories. Break time X0. 3. The drain under the bridge. Pittsburgh wore winter-like armor. Ice glazed the river paths, and the wind off the Monongahela cut straight through coats and good intentions. Streetlights made pale halos in the fog, like tired moons that had forgotten how to shine. Jack Mercer moved down the riverside trail with a careful rhythm. The left knee never let him forget old damage. The body could heal. The memory always insisted on staying. Jack Mercer kept his hands buried in the pockets of the same outfit he wore every day since he came home. A navy winter coat that hit mid-thigh, a red and black plaid flannel, faded jeans, and brown leather boots. He looked like a man who had stopped trying to impress anyone and started trying to endure. Beside Jack Mercer patted a German shepherd, 5 years old, black and tan, ears upright, eyes the color of warm amber. The dog did not pull. The dog did not bark at shadows. The dog watched the world like a guard at a gate, steady and patient. At the bend near the underpass, the German shepherd slowed. The air smelled wrong, not just river and salt and exhaust. Something sharper, something like fear. The dog's head turned toward the concrete slope that dropped into a storm drain, half buried under snow. Jack Mercer followed the gaze, then the sudden stillness. He felt it in his gut before he heard it. A faint, broken sound, a whimper that did not belong in the cold. "Easy," Jack Mercer said, voice low, like he was speaking to the winter itself. The German shepherd stepped closer, nose working, body tense but controlled. The dog gave a short, tight signal sound, not loud, not frantic, a warning and an invitation at the same time. Jack Mercer crouched, knee complaining, and brushed snow away from the metal grate. His breath fogged the gap. Down inside, darkness swallowed the light. Then a small movement flashed. A paw, tiny, shaking. Another sound answered from deeper in. A growl, thin and hoarse, but full of courage. Not a threat, a promise. Jack Mercer's shoulders tightened. He had heard that kind of growl overseas. A defender with nothing left to lose. "Hey," Jack Mercer called softly. "You're okay. I'm not here to hurt you." The German shepherd held position, eyes fixed on the drain. The dog's posture said the same thing Jack Mercer felt. Someone was down there, and time was running out. Jack Mercer looked around. The underpass was empty. A car hissed past above. No one else on the trail. No one to call down into the dark and hope help arrived fast. Jack Mercer pulled out his phone and dialed the city line for emergencies. The operator asked questions in a tired voice. Location, landmarks, severity. Jack Mercer answered cleanly, the way he had been trained to report what mattered. Then the line went quiet. "Units are tied up," the operator said. "Try animal control in the morning." "In the morning? They're dead," Jack Mercer said. The operator sighed. Jack Mercer ended the call before he said something he would regret. He ran his gloved hand over the grate again. The bolts were rusted, half buried. The drain was old, the kind of place where water roared in storms and left bones behind in winter. Jack Mercer rose slowly, eyes scanning for tools. A maintenance shed stood across the trail. Locked, of course. Pittsburgh believed in locks. The German shepherd shifted, ears flicking. The dog's gaze slid to the far side of the underpass, where a discarded construction sign leaned in the snow like a broken shield. Under it, half hidden, was a short steel bar. Jack Mercer almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because life had a crooked sense of timing. "Good eyes," Jack Mercer murmured. He grabbed the bar and wedged it under the great edge. The first pry did nothing. The second made metal scream. The third lifted a corner, just enough for icy air to breathe out of the drain like a ghost. A pair of eyes glinted below, wide and shining. A small puppy, pressed to the edge, trembling hard enough to shake the darkness around it. The German shepherd gave a quiet, steady signal again, as if telling the puppy, "You are seen." Then, deeper down, another shape moved. Larger, the mother dog, thin, wet fur clinging to ribs, eyes fierce, not wild, not stupid, just desperate and ready to die for the small life beside her. Jack Mercer kept his body angled sideways, not looming. He lowered his voice like a prayer. "I'm going to get you out," Jack Mercer said. "I swear it." The mother dog growled once, then coughed. The sound ended in a weak whine she could not hide. She was guarding, but she was fading. Jack Mercer's mind raced through options. He could lift the grate a little more, maybe enough to reach in, but one slip and that bar could fall, one wrong move, and the drain could become a coffin. Jack Mercer looked at the German shepherd. The dog stood solid, calm, ready. Jack Mercer nodded. "Stay." The dog stayed. Jack Mercer braced his boots on the ice and pried again. Metal groaned. The opening widened. Cold air spilled out, carrying that sharp scent of fear and something else. Not just neglect. Something chemical, like cleaning fluid. Like a cover-up. Jack Mercer's jaw tightened. He reached down slowly, palm open, fingers low. The puppy crawled toward him, then stopped. The mother dog pressed forward, body between Jack Mercer and the puppy, eyes burning with warning. Jack Mercer froze. "I get it," he whispered. "You don't trust me. You shouldn't." The German shepherd took one step forward, not into the opening, just close enough for the mother dog to see. Calm eyes, upright ears, no challenge, no threat. The mother dog's growl softened. She stared at the German shepherd, like she was reading a language she had forgotten. The language of safety. The puppy made the decision first. It nudged forward, then climbed into Jack Mercer's hand, like it had been waiting for that hand its entire life. Jack Mercer's throat tightened. He lifted the puppy up and tucked it inside his coat, against the warmth of flannel and heartbeat. One down. Jack Mercer breathed. Now the mother dog, the hard part, the mother dog moved forward, but her legs shook. She tried to climb, slipped, and slammed against the concrete. She did not cry out. She just tried again. Jack Mercer felt anger rise, hot and ugly. Someone put her here. Someone decided she could die out of sight. Jack Mercer pried the grate wider, then lowered himself to the edge, knee screaming. Ignoring it, he reached down again, slow, steady, voice soft. "Come on," Jack Mercer said. "You did your job. Let me do mine." The mother dog stared, trembling, then took one last breath and leapt. Jack Mercer caught her, heavier than he expected, and hauled her up with everything his damaged leg could give. The German shepherd stepped in close, shoulder under the mother dog's chest, as Jack Mercer pulled. For a second, the three of them formed a living bridge over the mouth of the drain. Then they were out. The mother dog collapsed on the snow, ribs heaving, eyes still fixed on the puppy inside Jack Mercer's coat. She tried to rise, failed, and fell again. Jack Mercer knelt beside her, breath shaking. "I've got you," he said. The German shepherd stood watch, scanning the underpass, ears pivoting. Jack Mercer did not notice the faint scrape of footsteps above until the German shepherd's head snapped toward the road. A car door closed, and somewhere in the fog, a voice called out, too casual for the hour. "Hey, you down there." Jack Mercer felt the old war instinct wake up, cold and clear. The rescue was not over. It was just beginning. A vet with warm hands. Jack Mercer did not answer the voice above. He moved fast instead. He scooped the mother dog with care that made his knee scream. The puppy stayed tucked inside his navy coat, tiny body trembling against the flannel. The German shepherd stayed close, body angled between Jack Mercer and the underpass, eyes tracking the fog. Jack Mercer crossed the trail to the parking lot where his truck waited. He laid the mother dog on a blanket in the back seat, then climbed in, hands steady even though his pulse hammered. The German Shepherd jumped in without being told. As Jack Mercer drove, he watched the rearview mirror. The fog swallowed the underpass. The car that had closed its door never followed. Still, Jack Mercer kept one hand near his phone. The other stayed on the wheel, knuckles pale. He headed to an all-night veterinary clinic in the Strip District, a place that smelled like disinfectant and coffee and small miracles. The sign buzzed weakly in the cold, but the lights inside were bright. A woman in scrubs opened the door before Jack Mercer reached it, as if she had been watching for him. "Bring them in," she said. Now, her name was Dr. Claire Bennett, mid-30s, quick eyes, calm voice, the kind of person who could walk into chaos and make it behave. Jack Mercer carried the mother dog in. Dr. Claire Bennett took one look and moved like a conductor leading an orchestra. "Hypothermia risk," Dr. Claire Bennett said. "Dehydration. Possible trauma. We need warmth first." Jack Mercer hesitated at the threshold. "The mother dog stays with the puppy. If you separate them, she'll fight you." Dr. Claire Bennett studied Jack Mercer, then the mother dog's eyes, then the puppy's tiny face peeking out of Jack Mercer's coat. Something softened in Dr. Claire Bennett's expression. "We can try," Dr. Claire Bennett said. "But I need you to help me keep everyone calm." Jack Mercer nodded. He could do calm. They moved the mother dog onto a padded table. The puppy went into a warmed blanket nearby, still close enough for the mother dog to see. The German Shepherd sat by Jack Mercer's boot, silent, steady, watching every hand that reached near the dogs. A technician entered with a heating pad. Another brought warm fluids. Dr. Claire Bennett spoke in a gentle stream of reassurance as she checked gums, listened to the chest, ran fingertips along ribs. No obvious broken bones. Dr. Claire Bennett said, "But she's exhausted. She's been running on fumes." Jack Mercer's jaw tightened. She was in a storm drain. Somebody put her there. Dr. Claire Bennett did not gasp or dramatize. She just nodded like she had heard the world's worst stories and refused to let them win. "Then we're going to make sure she doesn't pay for that," Dr. Claire Bennett said. The puppy wheezed once, then fell quiet. Jack Mercer's stomach clenched. Dr. Claire Bennett moved to the puppy with the same calm focus. She checked the tiny joints, the belly, the breathing. The puppy's body was cold but not stiff. That mattered. Dr. Claire Bennett looked up. "How long has the puppy been like this?" "Since yesterday," Jack Mercer said. He did not know how he knew. He had heard it in the mother dog's cough. He had seen it in the puppy's tremble. Hunger had a timeline. Dr. Claire Bennett nodded. "We'll do x-rays to be safe. But the first battle is warmth." A small laugh came from the technician when the German Shepherd leaned forward to sniff the puppy, then sat back as if deciding to allow the clinic to continue. "Guardian angel," the technician muttered. Jack Mercer almost smiled. "Almost." Dr. Claire Bennett returned with a warm towel and cleaned the puppy's face gently. The puppy blinked up at her, then made a small, helpless noise. "You're a good boy," Dr. Claire Bennett whispered. "You did great today." Jack Mercer felt something tighten behind his ribs, the place where grief lived. He thought of voices he could not save. Then he looked at the puppy and forced himself to stay here, in this room, in this moment. Dr. Claire Bennett stood. "We'll take them back for imaging. You can come to the door, but you can't come in." Jack Mercer nodded. "The mother dog needs to see the puppy." Dr. Claire Bennett hesitated, then motioned. "Then you walk with us. Keep her calm." Jack Mercer moved beside the table, one hand near the mother dog's shoulder, voice low. The mother dog's eyes stayed on the puppy's blanket. The German Shepherd padded along, calm as a shadow. As they reached the imaging room, Dr. Claire Bennett turned to Jack Mercer. "Who are you?" Dr. Claire Bennett asked. "To walk into a winter night and pull a family out of a drain." Jack Mercer looked at the floor, then at his boots. "Just someone who owes the world something," Jack Mercer said. Dr. Claire Bennett studied him. then nodded as if she understood that kind of debt. While the clinic doors swung closed, Jack Mercer sat in a plastic chair under harsh lights. The German Shepherd lay at his feet, eyes half closed, but always listening. A kid in a hoodie walked past, carrying a carrier with a nervous cat. The kid glanced at Jack Mercer's worn coat and tired eyes. "You okay?" the kid asked. Jack Mercer almost said the easy lie. Then he shook his head once. "I will be," Jack Mercer said. Minutes stretched. The clinic clock ticked like a metronome for fear. Finally, "Doctor." Claire Bennett returned with a sheet of paper and a tired smile. "The x-rays look clear, Doctor," Claire Bennett said. "No fractures, no foreign objects. The puppy needs rest, warmth, and food. The mother dog needs fluids and time." Jack Mercer exhaled like he had been holding his breath for years. "Doctor." Claire Bennett lowered her voice. "But there's something else." Jack Mercer's eyes sharpened. "What?" "Doctor." Claire Bennett handed him the paper. A note scribbled in the margin, an odor report from the intake tech. "Cleaning chemicals." "Doctor." Claire Bennett said. "Strong. Like someone tried to wash something off. Like bleach." That drain was not an accident. Jack Mercer's face went still, the kind of stillness that came before action. "Doctor," Claire Bennett added quietly, "if you want to report it, I'll back you, but it can get messy." Jack Mercer looked down at his hands, then at the German Shepherd's steady gaze. Messy did not scare Jack Mercer. What scared him was looking away. "Then we don't look away," Jack Mercer said. The man who asked too nicely. The sky over Pittsburgh turned the color of old steel by the time Jack Mercer left the clinic. The mother dog and puppy were wrapped in warm blankets. The puppy slept in a small carrier on the passenger seat, and the mother dog lay behind it, eyes open, watching. The German Shepherd sat upright in the back, head slightly tilted, tracking everything outside the windows. Jack Mercer drove to his small rental on the edge of Bloomfield, a modest place with a porch that creaked and a heater that worked only when it felt like it. He carried the mother dog inside first, then the puppy, then returned for the German Shepherd. The outfit stayed the same. Jack Mercer had no interest in changing clothes when his mind had already changed direction. He set up a corner of the living room with towels and water. The mother dog drank slowly. The puppy slept, chest rising and falling in shallow peace. Jack Mercer crouched and spoke softly. "You're safe here. No one's going to take you back." The mother dog blinked, like she wanted to believe him, but didn't know how. Then there was a knock at the door. Jack Mercer froze. The German Shepherd's ears lifted, not alarmed, focused. Jack Mercer moved to the window and peered through the blinds. A man stood on the porch with a neutral coat and an umbrella. Mid-40s, clean haircut, hands visible, smile practiced. He looked like someone who belonged in an office, not in the cold outside Jack Mercer's door at dawn. Jack Mercer did not open. The man knocked again, then called out, voice friendly, "Hey, I'm looking for a dog, a German Shepherd, and a mother and pup. I heard someone found them near the underpass." Jack Mercer felt his stomach drop. Heard was the word that did not fit. Heard from who? Animal control had brushed him off. The clinic did not give out addresses. The trail had been empty. Jack Mercer did not answer. The man tried a softer voice. "I'm with a rescue group. We've been tracking them. The mother can be aggressive. We can take them off your hands." Jack Mercer glanced back at the mother dog. The mother dog stared at him, body tense, as if she understood that the danger had followed. Jack Mercer leaned toward the door, voice flat. "What rescue group?" The man's smile widened a fraction. Too quick. River City Animal Aid. Jack Mercer had never heard of it. The German Shepherd rose silently and stepped closer to Jack Mercer, shoulder near Jack Mercer's knee. Not threatening, just there. Jack Mercer spoke through the door. "Show me ID." The man laughed lightly. Sure. No problem." A pause. The sound of paper rustling. Then the man held something up to the peephole. Jack Mercer looked. A laminated card. A logo. A name. Martin Shaw. Jack Mercer stared at the card. Then at the man's eyes. The eyes were the problem. Too calm. Too confident. The kind of eyes that expected the world to move aside. Jack Mercer opened the door 1 inch. chain still on, cold air spilled in. Animal control will handle it, Jack Mercer said. Martin Shaw's smile tightened. I'm trying to save you trouble. Those dogs could carry disease. They could be dangerous. You don't want liability. Jack Mercer's voice stayed quiet. The dogs are not the danger. Martin Shaw's gaze flicked past Jack Mercer. Trying to see inside, Jack Mercer shifted his body to block the view. I can pay, Martin Shaw said, dropping the kindness. Cash. For your time. Jack Mercer felt anger rise again. Clean and fierce. Get off my porch. Martin Shaw's smile vanished. You don't know what you picked up. Jack Mercer's eyes sharpened. Then tell me. Martin Shaw leaned closer, voice low. You took property. Jack Mercer almost laughed. A short breath of disbelief. Dogs aren't property. Martin Shaw's face hardened. In the wrong parts of this city, they are. Jack Mercer's grip tightened on the door. The German Shepherd stood behind him, silent, watching. Martin Shaw took a step back, as if deciding. Then he lifted his hands, smile returning like a mask. Okay, Martin Shaw said. No hard feelings. Keep them warm. I'll come back with animal control. Martin Shaw turned and walked down the steps. The umbrella bobbed once like a nod to the fog. Jack Mercer shut the door and locked it, then stood still, listening. The German Shepherd walked to the window and stared out until Martin Shaw's car disappeared at the end of the street. Jack Mercer's mind clicked into a plan, not a fantasy. A plan, he called Dr. Claire Bennett. She answered on the second ring, voice sleepy but alert. Dr. Claire Bennett. Jack Mercer said. Someone came to my door asking for the dogs. Silence. Then a sharp inhale. Already. That's fast. Name. Jack Mercer said. Martin Shaw. Doctor. Claire Bennett repeated slowly. I know that name. Jack Mercer's chest tightened. From where? Doctor. Claire Bennett's voice dropped. A few months ago, we treated a dog that came in with injuries. The owner was polite. Too polite. And the dog flinched every time the man blinked. Jack Mercer felt the old cold clarity settle over him. What do we do? Doctor. Claire Bennett answered without hesitation. You file a report, and you don't stay alone with that truth. Jack Mercer stared at the mother dog and puppy curled in towels. Then he looked at the German Shepherd. The dog met his gaze like a steady flame. Jack Mercer made a decision that felt like stepping back into a storm. Then we bring it into the light, Jack Mercer said. That afternoon, Jack Mercer went to the precinct. He sat across from a detective named Elena Vargas, late 30s, sharp eyes, hair pulled back like she did not have time for nonsense. Jack Mercer laid out the facts. Storm drain, chemical smell, the man with the fake rescue card. The word property. Detective Elena Vargas listened, face unreadable. Then she asked one question. Why you? Detective Elena Vargas said, and why tonight? Jack Mercer looked down at his flannel, then back up. Because the dogs asked the right person, Jack Mercer said. Detective Elena Vargas studied him for a long moment. Then Detective Elena Vargas nodded once. Okay. Detective Elena Vargas said, let's see what Martin Shaw thinks he owns. The place that smelled like bleach. Detective Elena Vargas moved carefully. She did not promise quick justice. She promised attention, which was rarer and sometimes stronger. 2 days later, Detective Elena Vargas called Jack Mercer with a plan. We traced River City Animal Aid, Detective Elena Vargas said. It's a shell. A website that went up last month, a phone number that forwards to nowhere. But Martin Shaw is real. He owns a small training facility outside the city. Jack Mercer felt his pulse steady. We go there. Detective Elena Vargas's voice sharpened. We do not go kicking doors. We get probable cause. We do this right. Jack Mercer understood. Military precision was not about force. It was about timing, angles, and not giving the enemy a clean escape. That night, Pittsburgh got another snowfall. Jack Mercer drove with the German Shepherd in the back, mother dog and puppy safe at Dr. Claire Bennett's clinic under watch. Jack Mercer wore the same navy coat, the same red and black flannel, the same faded jeans, the same brown boots, the uniform of a man who refused to step away Detective Elena Vargas met Jack Mercer in an unmarked car near a warehouse district along the river. Two other officers were with her. A warrant sat on the dashboard like a loaded truth. "This is for the facility," Detective Elena Vargas said. "And the warehouse where he stores equipment?" Jack Mercer's jaw clenched. "Equipment." Detective Elena Vargas's eyes stayed steady. "You know what that means?" Jack Mercer did. He had seen cruelty wrapped in ordinary words before. They approached the warehouse with careful steps. Snow-muffled sound. The river wind carried a faint scent that hit Jack Mercer's nose like a warning. Bleach. The German Shepherd lifted the head, nostrils flaring, body tightening. The dog did not bark. The dog simply looked at Jack Mercer, then at the warehouse door, then back again. "Ready," Detective Elena Vargas signaled. The officers moved in, hands on weapons but not eager. Precision, not drama. The door gave way. Cold air rushed out, carrying stale heat and chemical burn. Inside, the warehouse was lit by harsh fluorescence. Concrete floor, metal cages stacked along one wall, buckets, rags. A drain in the center of the floor. Jack Mercer felt something inside him go still, not numb, focused. A sound came from the cages, soft, a whine that tried not to exist. Detective Elena Vargas moved forward, flashlight sweeping. "Animal control is on the way," Detective Elena Vargas said. "We secure the scene." Jack Mercer's eyes caught a clipboard on a table. Names, numbers, weights, notes in neat handwriting. The handwriting looked like Martin Shaw's. Calm, organized, like cruelty was a schedule. Then a door at the far end banged open. Martin Shaw walked in, eyes widening for half a second before he recovered. "Officers," Martin Shaw said, voice smooth. "This is a misunderstanding." Detective Elena Vargas stepped forward. "Martin Shaw, you're under investigation for animal cruelty and illegal activity. Step back. Hands where we can see them." Martin Shaw's gaze flicked to Jack Mercer. Recognition flashed. Anger. Controlled. "You," Martin Shaw said. "You stole from me." Jack Mercer's voice stayed quiet. "Dogs aren't property." Martin Shaw's smile turned sharp. "You're a vet now, a hero. You think you can rewrite the world." Jack Mercer took one step forward, the knee stiff, the boots steady. "I'm not rewriting anything," Jack Mercer said. "I'm just ending what you started." Martin Shaw's eyes slid to the German Shepherd. The dog stood silent, watching, not reacting, not baited. "Pretty dog," Martin Shaw said, trying to provoke, "worth a lot." Detective Elena Vargas snapped. "That's enough. Turn around." Martin Shaw hesitated. For a second, Jack Mercer thought Martin Shaw might fight. Instead, Martin Shaw's gaze flicked toward a side exit. Jack Mercer saw it. Detective Elena Vargas saw it. The German Shepherd moved first, not fast like a missile, fast like a decision. The dog stepped into the exit path and held, body firm, eyes locked on Martin Shaw. No growl, no bark, just a wall. Martin Shaw stopped like he ran into a truth he did not expect. "Move your dog," Martin Shaw hissed. Jack Mercer's voice stayed calm. "The dog is not mine to move," Jack Mercer said. "The dog chooses." Martin Shaw's face twisted. Then the officers moved in and cuffed him. As Martin Shaw was led away, Detective Elena Vargas kept her voice low. "We found records," Detective Elena Vargas said to Jack Mercer. "If those records match what we think, this goes bigger." Jack Mercer looked at the cages again, at the quiet eyes inside them, eyes that had learned not to make sound. Jack Mercer swallowed hard. "Then we keep going," Jack Mercer said. In the corner, one cage held a thin mother dog with fresh scars and a swollen paw. The dog stared at Jack Mercer, then at the German Shepherd, then lowered the head in a gesture that looked like relief. Jack Mercer felt his throat tighten. Love and loss lived close together in rooms like this. Detective Elena Vargas's phone buzzed. She listened, then looked up. "Animal control is here," Detective Elena Vargas said. "And so is a reporter." Jack Mercer grimaced. "Great." Detective Elena Vargas almost smiled. "Welcome to the part where the city sees what it didn't want to see." Jack Mercer looked down at the German Shepherd, who was now sitting calmly as if nothing had happened. Jack Mercer whispered. You did good. The dog blinked once, like that was obvious. The home that was built, not found. The story broke fast. Pittsburgh loved a scandal when it came with proof, the warehouse footage, the records, the shell rescue site, Martin Shaw's calm face on the evening news. But the part that spread fastest was not Martin Shaw. It was the image of a man in a navy winter coat and red and black flannel, walking out of a warehouse with a trembling dog wrapped in a blanket, and beside him, a black and tan German shepherd with upright ears and steady eyes, walking like a guard who had decided the world was worth protecting again. Jack Mercer did not ask for attention. Attention found him anyway. Doctor, Claire Bennett called Jack Mercer one morning. The mother dog you rescued. Doctor, Claire Bennett said, voice bright. She's standing. The puppy is gaining weight. Jack Mercer closed his eyes and let relief wash through him. Good, doctor. Claire Bennett paused. We need names for paperwork. Jack Mercer looked at the puppy, now stronger, wobbling on small legs. The mother dog watched, still wary but no longer haunted. Jack Mercer said, Mother dog is Grace. Puppy is Finn. Doctor. Claire Bennett chuckled softly. Finn suits him. The German shepherd sniffed the puppy once, then sat like a stern babysitter. Jack Mercer brought Grace and Finn home the day the charges were finalized. The porch creaked under his boots. Snow drifted against the steps. The heater inside rattled like it was trying its best. Detective Elena Vargas met Jack Mercer at the door with a folder. Court date will take months, Detective Elena Vargas said. But Shaw won't see daylight for a while. Jack Mercer nodded. Good. Detective Elena Vargas glanced at Grace and Finn, then at the German shepherd. You keeping them? Jack Mercer did not pretend to be casual. If they'll have me. Detective Elena Vargas's eyes softened. They already do. Life did not turn perfect. It turned real. Grace flinched at loud noises for weeks. Finn had nightmares, waking with small cries that cut through the house. Jack Mercer would sit on the floor in his navy coat and flannel, hand on the puppy's back, whispering steady words until the trembling stopped. The German shepherd stayed close, sometimes pressing the body against Jack Mercer's stiff left knee like a warm brace, sometimes placing the head on Jack Mercer's boot like a reminder to stay here, not back there. One evening, Jack Mercer tried to cook and failed. Smoke rose. The alarm screamed. Grace bolted into the corner, shaking. Finn yelped. Jack Mercer cursed under his breath. The German shepherd stared at Jack Mercer as if to say, for a trained professional, this is embarrassing. Jack Mercer could not help it. He laughed. A short, surprised laugh that felt rusty, like a door opening after years. Doctor. Claire Bennett arrived with a fire extinguisher and a bag of groceries, rolling eyes like she had been waiting for this call. I leave you alone for 5 minutes. Doctor, Claire Bennett said, and you try to burn down your own redemption arc. Jack Mercer held up his hands. I'm better at disasters than dinners. Doctor, Claire Bennett's smile turned gentle. Then let people help with the dinners. That was the lesson Jack Mercer fought the hardest. Not courage, not grit, not control. Help. Weeks passed. Grace began to walk the backyard without fear. Finn learned to chase a ball. Clumsy and proud, the German shepherd supervised like a quiet captain. Jack Mercer's left knee still hurt, but the pain had company now, and company made it easier. One day, a letter arrived, no return address. Inside was a single photograph, a storm drain under an underpass, the same one where Jack Mercer had found Grace and Finn. On the back, 3 words were written in neat handwriting. You missed one. Jack Mercer felt cold creep up the spine. Doctor, Claire Bennett was in the kitchen, pouring coffee. Detective Elena Vargas was on speakerphone, discussing paperwork. Jack Mercer held the photo, eyes narrowing. The German shepherd stepped closer, gaze locked on the paper, ears upright, body still. Grace growled low, a sound that held no panic now, only resolve. Finn pressed into Jack Mercer's boot. Jack Mercer exhaled slowly. The past was trying to pull him back again. But this time he was not alone. This time he had a pack. Jack Mercer tore the photo in half, then in quarters, then dropped it into the trash. Jack Mercer looked at Dr. Claire Bennett. "We report it," Jack Mercer said. "Doctor." Claire Bennett nodded, face firm. "We report it." Jack Mercer looked at Detective Elena Vargas. "We keep going," Jack Mercer said. Detective Elena Vargas's voice came through the speaker, calm and fierce. "We keep going." Jack Mercer looked down at the German Shepherd, then at Grace and Finn. There was love in this house now. Not the kind that erased loss, the kind that carried loss without breaking. Jack Mercer opened the door and stepped onto the porch in his navy coat, red and black flannel, faded jeans, and brown boots. The winter wind met him, and he did not flinch, because somewhere out in the cold, a quiet whimper might still be waiting, and Jack Mercer and a German Shepherd who never looked away were ready. Sometimes miracles do not arrive with thunder or bright light. Sometimes they come quietly, like a weak breath under a freezing storm drain, like a step that stops at the exact right moment, like a heart that still chooses mercy even when it is tired. Some nights look like coincidence at first, but later it feels different. It feels like God placed the right meeting in the right place, at the right time, to save a life and also to save the softer part inside a person. In everyday life, everyone faces a storm drain of their own. A neighbor who is worn out but says nothing. An animal left outside in the cold. Someone who only needs one kind question to keep going. Faith is not always big words. Often it is the small things you do when no one is watching. A coat that blocks the wind. A call for help. A choice not to look away. If this story touched you, please share it to spread kindness. Comment and tell us about a time you saw a miracle in your own life. And subscribe so you do not miss more healing stories. May God bless you and your family and give you peace on every step of your journey.